Brush Lee. The people on the pier were all fighting with real kung fu to compete with tough opponents. Craftsmen rely on their hands, and their hands must have unique skills. Those who have special skills eat meat and stand brightly in the middle of the street. Those who are incompetent eat vegetarian food and stay to the side. This set is not made by anyone, it is truly a way of life on the dock. Those who come to perform in big dramas all pay attention to breaking into Tianjin Pier. Tianjin people are addicted to opera and know how to play. They have sharp eyes and sharp ears, and they can distinguish between praise and blame. If the opera is performed well, the people below would applaud and support it, just like seeing the emperor. Many famous actors will go to Tianjin to sing and become famous. But if it is ordinary and not outstanding at all, if the performance fails, the audience will boo, and sometimes the tea bowl will be thrown on the stage. The tea leaves will be stained on the actors' robes and beards. When watching an opera, Tianjin would deliberately cheer loudly for mistakes in the performance to show mockery and scream the loudest. You can just say that it's not good, and you will train a lot of capable people in this way. In all walks of life, there are a few capable people with extraordinary abilities. Carving brick Liu, clay figure Zhong, kite Wei, machine king, brush Li, etc. Tianjin people like to combine the surname of such people with a profession they are good at. After calling for a long time, no one knew his name. This is the only nickname that is particularly famous on the pier. Brush Li is a master of a construction factory on Hebei Street. Specializes in painting and don't do anything else. If he paints a room for you and doesn't put anything in room, just sit and watch, it will be as beautiful as rising to heaven. The most amazing thing is that he always wears black when painting, and after the work, there is never a white spot on his body. You have to believe it, he also set a rule for himself. As long as there are white spots on his body, there is no charge for this work. If he didn't have this ability, wouldn't he have starved to death long ago? But this is a legend. People don't believe everything. Those outside the industry who have never seen it don't believe it, while those within the industry are angry and say they don't believe it. One day a year, Brush Li accepted an apprentice named Cao Shaoson. The beginning of being an apprentice involves serving tea, lighting cigarettes, and following behind to carry things. Of course, Cao Shaoson had already heard about the master's unique skill, and he had always been dubious and wanted to see it with his own eyes this time. That day, he went out to work with his master for the first time and went to Shannon Road in the British concession to paint Li Shanren's newly built bungalow. When he got there, Brush Li talked with the person in charge and realized that the master was very impressive. Follow master's rules and only paint one room a day. It took 9 days to paint this Western-style house with 9 rooms. Before starting work, Brush Li unpacked a small, boxy bag that he brought with him. Sure enough, he was wearing black clothes, black trousers, and a pair of black cloth shoes. Wearing this black suit, you can compete with a bucket of white pulp on the ground. The house has one roof and for walls. Paint the roof first and then the walls. The top is especially difficult to brush. If you lift the brush dipped in slimy powder paste upwards, who can prevent a drop from falling off? If you drop it, it will fall on you. But as soon as Brush Li lifted up his brush, there was no way to dip it in the paste. But when the brush passed across the roof, there was an even and solid line of white, translucent and refreshing. Some people say that the arm dipped in starch swings leisurely here and there, in harmony with the beat of drums and the sound of the piano. Every time it is brushed, the long brush with starch makes a crisp snap sound on the wall. It sounds very nice. In the crackling sound, one after another of paste connected seamlessly. The wall that was brushed was like opening a snow-white barrier flatly. But what Cao Shaoson is most concerned about is whether there are any white spots on Brush Li. There is also a rule for Brush Li's work. After each wall is painted, he must sit on a stool for a long time, smoke a bag of cigarettes, drink a bowl of tea, and then paint the next wall. At this moment, Cao Shaoson took the opportunity to pour water for the master to light his cigarette and carefully search Brush Li's body with his eyes. After painting each wall, he searched it again, but he didn't find even a pink dot the size of a sesame seed. He really felt that this black dress had a sacred and inviolable majesty. However, when Brush Li finished painting the last wall and sat down, while Cao Shaoson was lighting his cigarette, he saw a white spot on Brush Li's pants, the size of a soybean. White in black is more eye-catching than black in white. It's over. The master's secret was exposed. He was not a god, and the mountain-like image in the past legends collapsed. But he was afraid of embarrassing his master, so he didn't dare to say anything, and he didn't dare to look at it, but he couldn't help but glance at it. At this time, Brush Li suddenly spoke to him. "Ji-san, you saw the white spots on my pants. You think the master's ability is fake and his reputation is fake, right, silly boy? Take a closer look." As he spoke, Brush Li held his pants with his fingers and gently lifted them up. The white spots disappeared immediately. When he let go, the white spots appeared again. It was strange. He raised his face and took a closer look. The white spot turned out to be a small hole. I accidentally burned it when I was smoking. The white underwear inside had small holes exposed, and it looked exactly like the white dots on which the powder had fallen. Brush Li looked at Cao Shaoson's stunned look and said with a smile, "Do you think his reputation is all false? Then you are lying to yourself. Learn your skills." What Cao Shaoson learned on his first day as an apprentice may not be understood by others in his lifetime.